If you start seeing a lot of Transformers characters in the game, now you will know why. Hello heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. Today we are going to take a look at the Chromatic Corps styles, so let's get this party started. Now these styles were made with Lantern characters in mind. So there is a style for the Indigo Lanterns, the Fierce Red Lanterns, the Greedy Orange Lanterns, obviously the Green Lanterns, the Blue Hopeful Lanterns, the Pink Impassioned Lanterns, and the Evil Sinister Lanterns. Although if you do have a lot of materials, you don't need to get all those styles. You can simply use materials to recreate something that kind of looks like the styles. So we can see with the Green Lantern, we can see the Furious one for the Red Lantern, the Greedy Lantern, and more. So here you can see the green version of the style, and you can see if you look at the boots, like the boots is the glowing material. So the style is very close to the glowing material. Although it is close, it is not exactly the same. Like here you can see it with the glowing material, no material, glowing material, no material. So here you can see the Furious version of the styles, so the Red Lantern version of the styles. I should probably mention that the red version is the Furious version of the style. Although here, if you look at the boots, you can see the difference a bit more. In this case, it is a bit more different than the green material. Like here, we have the styles without any material. And here we can see the styles with the Furious materials. No material with the Furious material. So if you already have the Furious material, you don't need to get specifically the Furious version of the style. You could get any 3 version with the style and then use the material on top of that. Although here I'm talking about the Furious material. If you try to use the Furious Chroma material, let me show you the result. So if you try to use the Furious Chroma material, or any Chroma material for that matter, it does create some pretty funky look with the styles. So either you use the style without any material, or you use a material that is not a chroma material. The choice is yours. So here you have the blue version of the style that you could use with a Blue Lantern character. Although when it comes to the materials, I could not get a material that really worked for a Blue Lantern character. Like yes, there are a bunch of blue materials I could use, but none that actually look like this. So this is the exception of the exception. If you want to have the Blue Lantern color for your character, you will have to get the Blue Lantern version of the styles. So the blue version is the hopeful version of the style. For the pink version, it is called Impassioned. Although here you can see that it is not exactly the same as the Impassioned material. So you might prefer to use the Impassioned material if you want to. So if you use some Impassioned material on your character, you may decide to use also the Impassioned material on the rest of your styles. There's also the Compassionate version of the style. And in this case, I was not able to find a good material for my Indigo Lantern character, so I did not use any material. So obviously, I did not use any material for the styles as well. So this is what the style looks like without any materials on them. And here we have the Sinister version of the style. And in this case, the color of the style is pretty darn close, but it is still a little bit different than the actual material. So here you can see with the Sinister material, it is a tiny bit less shiny than the actual style itself. But both options works really well. So if you don't have the material, get the Sinister style. But if you already have the Sinister material, that is what I would use. And last but not least, we have the Greedy version of the style. It is pretty darn close to the material, but not exactly it. And here you can see the styles with the material. So as you can see, it is pretty darn close. And of course, you will want to create an evil Black Lantern character. So in order to do that, I'm using the Void material. And for the rest of the styles, I'm using the Shadowbender Chroma 2 and the Shadowbender Chroma 1. So even though they did not make a version for the evil Black Lantern, if you have enough materials, you can create your own Black Lantern version if you want to. And the same for the White Lanterns. They did not make a version specifically for the White Lantern, but depending on the materials you have, you can recreate a White Lantern version if you want to. In this case, I'm using the Ionic Glow material. And of course, some people will want to use those styles for different characters. So here you can see I'm recreating the evil Cyborg Superman. So again, you cannot use the chroma material on the shoulders and the gloves. So I have to use the chrome metallic material. But for the rest of the style, I'm using the Steel Neon Chroma 2 and the Steel Neon Chroma 3. That way I can have a nice red Superman emblem. And obviously, no material for the cape. And of course, there is our friend Cyborg. Dang, these metallic materials look good. I love those metallic effects. So I'm using the same materials as the evil Cyborg Superman. So the chrome metallic material for the back piece, the shoulder and the gloves, and the Steel Neon Chroma 2 and Steel Neon Chroma 3 for the rest. The reason why I'm using Steel Neon Chroma 2 and 3 is to be able to get the red dots on our Cyborg characters. Otherwise, if I use only the chrome metallic material, here you can see the result. We lose the red dot on the chest piece, we use the reds in the eyes, we would also use the red on the belt, on the boots. So with the Steel Neon Chroma material, we can have some red shiny bits for our Cyborg character. Although I am familiar with Cyborg from way back when his armored look was pretty much white, it wasn't Promethium material just yet. Promethium did not quite exist just yet, it was created a little bit later. But it was some sort of white metallic material that our friend Cyborg was made from. So I had to use some opalescent material, and for the rest I had to use some Pearl Neon Chroma 1 and Pearl Neon Chroma 3. Although it's not exactly it, one of the white has a little bit of pink built into it, and the other one is not really white but more like off-white, so it gives two different white textures to our Cyborg character. And of course, you have to know that some people will create an evil Terminator character using those styles, especially if they have some chrome metallic material or the Steel Neon Chroma material. Although in this case I'm using the chrome metallic, I'm using the Steel Neon Chroma 3, and I'm using the red metallic Chroma 3. I'm using the red metallic chroma material for the chest piece and the pants to get the nice metallic skeleton for our evil Terminator character. It's not exactly it, but it's close enough, I guess. Although I could use a bionic style. The bionic style looks really good with the metallic material. I love it. And I should probably mention where can you get those styles. So these styles come from the Chromatic Corps Resurgence Mega Capsule. You can purchase them from a marketplace unlocked. There are some Chromatic Corps Resurgence Mega Capsule that drop in the game. They drop roughly every 20 minutes of gameplay. But those that drop in the game, you have to use 7 stabilizers to unlock them. You can also purchase Mega Capsules from the evil Vandal Savage in the House of Legends. So if you go to Time Capsule, you can see the Mega Capsule here. So it's going to cost you 700 loyalty points. So how long will those Mega Capsules be available? I have no idea. Usually Mega Capsules are available for roughly 1 month. So as I'm recording this, you should have about 1 more week to be able to get those Mega Capsules in the game. Although another option to be able to get the styles is to just buy it from the broker. So here you can see the styles, you can see the Compassionate one for a bit less than 5 million. Let's put it price ascending instead. There we go, so you can see some of the styles above a bit more than 3 million. 4 million, and so on. I have to give my usual broker warning. Prices on the broker changes all the time. These are the prices on the broker right now. Tomorrow, next week, next month, and later tonight, the prices could be different. So if you start seeing some evil Terminators or some Transformers in the game, now you will know why.